if you want to go far, or if you want to go fast, I hear I'm messing up from the beginning. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I can't remember the first time I heard that. It was probably 3 years ago at this point, and it really resonated so deeply with me because about 3 years ago, I was in this transition of my life where I was going from going fast and going alone. Man, I could do something faster. I could work Excel and I could work software faster than anybody else, but nobody could keep up with me. I was just doing it by myself. I was going fast and I was going alone, and I was in this transition 3 or 4 years ago of realizing I can only go so far going alone, and transitioning to figuring out how to work together in a team, how to be someone who's a good team player. And more importantly to me now, be somebody who's a good leader in a team, whether it's the designated leader or not. So now my mission, my focus is to go far together. And I titled this The Gift of Loneliness, because if you've listened to my lives or know my story, I grew up overseas in Africa for the first roughly 10 years of my life, in Ireland for the second 10 years of my life, from 10 to 19. And I didn't have a whole lot of deep peer connections, relationships, because we were moving around a lot and I was living in different countries, different places, different cultures. And as a result, I was lonely. I was very loved by my family. I would still have a great relationship with my parents and my sisters. But as far as peer connection, I was lonely. And my coach at the time, Tracy Schunkweiler, she asked me, Derek, what is the gift of that loneliness that you grew up with? And it took me a little bit to figure it out, but she asked me that because what she knows from her own personal experience, what she knows from everybody that she's coached, and it's a human being condition, is that in every painful experience, in every painful moment, in every painful memory, there's an equal or greater gift. And sometimes it takes a lot of mining the gold to get there. Sometimes it takes a lot of peeling back the fear and the painful memories to get to that gift. But there's always a gift in the painful experience. And I realize that my gift of loneliness is that I value connection. I value relationship very deeply. And I've been on a mission in the last year and a half without even realizing I was on this mission. I'm now realizing I was on the mission, and now I'm much more focused in it, to create community, to create places where like-minded, like-valued people, entrepreneurs, creatives can come together and lift each other up, challenge each other, inspire each other, step on each other's toes, and ultimately elevate each other to live a life that is faithful with the gifts that they've been given. And today I got to experience it in 2 different places, 2 different communities that I lead, and just watching people in the group lift each other up because it's the power of community. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I'm so blessed to be able to be a part of these groups and lead these groups where people are coming together to go far together. So let me share a couple of examples. One of them is in the 90-day challenge group that we have. There's 6 of us in the group. And we all have different challenges. We all have different goals that we're out for the next 90 days. But together, we're committed to playing full out. Together, we're committed to playing an authentic, vulnerable, courageous game. And what was so amazing was Danny Bauer and I created this group together, and we enrolled our people into this group. And it's a diverse group, and yet there's so much in common that we're committed to messy action. And so creating this group with Danny was a really fun experience, and Danny led the group discussion today, and I think it might have been the first time that Danny led a group coaching discussion like that, and did an absolute bang-up job. I absolutely rocked it. So great job, Danny. And what I'm seeing is that in creating this community, which Danny and I created together, I gave Danny the opportunity to step up to the plate. And he said, you know, being on the other side of this and leading a group coaching has called more out of him than he had been called out, been called out before in him, and he stepped up to the plate because of this. And so this leveled him up, being able to lead this group, this community that he and I helped create together. And then what was really phenomenal today was here I was, one of the people leading the group. I sat back. Danny led the discussion. I sat back, and Danny sat back a lot. And Matt, shout out to Matt. Matt showed up big time today. He had a breakthrough recently with some of the language, some of the way he's talking about his coaching and his consulting, and he talked about how he has preached about loud mistakes, not overcoming and working through the fear of failure and making loud mistakes. And he was fired up and shared how he is making loud mistakes and how loud mistakes is becoming his mantra that he is purposefully, missionally focused on sharing loud mistakes. And Amy in the group stepped up, and she is her goal is to be a paid speaker, to book a paid speaking gig by the end of the 90 days. And Matt stepped in because Amy stepped to the plate and said, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm working on, here's the challenges I'm having. Matt stepped up to the plate and coached her, and she committed to take messy action and do a Facebook Live every week. And it's not a paid it's not a paid speaking gig, but it's taking those messy small actions of speaking, of being in front of a group, of creating momentum. And what I see is Danny and I created this community. Remember, my gift of loneliness is that I value community, and I'm realizing that I am good at bringing a community together. I am good at creating a forum, creating the environment for people to step up and encourage and lift each other up. And Matt stepped up to the plate today, and Amy stepped up to the plate today, and Jose stepped up to the plate today. And it was really incredible to see, and Barakat stepped up to the plate today, all inside this group that we formed because we recognized that going far requires us to go together. And so that's one community that I'm part of, that I'm really, really proud of the members and how they're stepping up to the plate and what they're accomplishing. But had I not recognized my gift of loneliness is in the creating a community, I would not have been so focused on creating a community that levels each other up together. It's this idea about being individually committed together. If you want to go far, go together. I am on purpose creating communities that go far together. The second community that I'm leading is the book club, is the Champions Club. We're going through The Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell Still, and today we were talking about the law of magnetism. We attract who we are. And what's really cool is I inherited this group about a year and a half ago, and I've been able to level up the group because I am naturally gifted at creating community and drawing people in to have these deep, thoughtful conversations that really move people forward. And because I've learned to lead as a member of the group, not just standing outside the group, we were sharing some things today about character qualities of people that we want to surround ourselves with. And talking about magnetism, we attract who we are. And is this the person we are? Are we attracting these people? And so I listed out a few things. These are the people, these are the characteristics of the people that I want to attract in my life. These are the characteristics that I need to be to attract these people. And I listed a few of them off, and one of them was action-oriented. And John Maxwell in the book said, now go back to your list and put a check by the character qualities that you are living up to, and put an X by the character qualities that you have to work on. And so I said, the one that I think I have to work on the most is action-oriented. And Tracy Schunkweiler, who's my coach for quite a while, she stepped in and she said, Derek, what would have to take place in order for you to see yourself as an action-oriented person? And just in that question, because we're in this community together, just because of that question, I realized that I am action-oriented. I am taking more action, more and more purposeful, missional, focused action than I ever have in my life before. But an old story of mine, one of analysis paralysis, one of being stuck in the mud, was still showing up, and I was seeing myself as not being action-oriented. And simply Tracy's question of what would it take to see yourself as action-oriented made me reflect and realize I am action-oriented. And an insight just like that helped me shift from seeing myself as not being action-oriented to being action-oriented. It was in this community that I lead that I got to receive the gift of being lifted up from Tracy. And it really is incredible to me as I look back and see the gift of loneliness is that I I'm really good. I value relationships. I value community. I value bringing people together because that's what I craved so much when I was growing up. And now it's the thing that I do so well because that's what I truly am passionate about. And what you're truly passionate about, you're very good at. What I'm truly passionate about is bringing people together, and I'm good at that. So the gift of loneliness, I'm realizing, is truly community, and I'm getting to experience, and I'm getting chills just talking about it. I get to experience what that really means to bring community together. And I am focused, radically focused on not going fast, not going alone, but going far, going together, and bringing community together that lifts each other up. And I got to experience that today. So my question for you is, where's your community? Who's encouraging you? I'd love to know where you find your encouragement, your inspiration, your toe stepping. Who's there for you? Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.